Hey everybody, Miss Maritello here. So I just wanted to do a quick review of the concept of Pythagorean Theorem and then show you guys a couple practice problems that use it. So remember that Pythagorean Theorem is the one for right triangles, and it's used for finding the length of an unknown side. So the unknown side could be a leg length or a hypotenuse length. And we know that the legs on a right triangle, they're always the sides that form the right angle. I kind of think about them as the sides that make the L shape. And then the other side, which is opposite the right angle, is the hypotenuse. And the hypotenuse is always going to be the longest side on the right triangle. So if we had a practice problem, say we have something like a right triangle, we're given the 3 and the 4, and we need to figure out the other side length. If you had that, you would want to identify first which ones the legs are, and if you knew the hypotenuse or not. But here, though, I have my L shape is going to be right on here, so I know that then 3 is going to be a leg and 4 is going to be a leg because they form the right angle. And then I do not know the hypotenuse, so I'm going to call that x. So I know Pythagorean Theorem, it tells me that I know leg squared plus leg squared is equal to hypotenuse squared. And right now I know that my legs are 3 and 4. So I need to do 3 squared plus 4 squared, and it's going to be equal to x squared because x is my hypotenuse. So then from there, I can go through and I can start solving the equation for x. And I just wanted to mention too, it would have been fine if you also had put 4 squared plus 3 squared was equal to x squared. So I have exponents and I have addition in my next line. Remember when you use order of operations, then you're going to need to do the exponents first. So 3 squared is 9 and 4 squared is 16, and I still have equals x squared. So then now I just have the addition left, so 9 plus 16, that's going to be 25. So I have 25 equal to x squared. So this is basically asking me what number squared is 25, or like what number times itself is 25. So if you can think right away, okay, so then x would have to be 5, that's fine. But if you're not sure if it's like a bigger number, remember that to get the x alone or isolated, you can take the square root on both sides. The square root of 25 is 5, and then technically the square root of x squared is x, but the square and the square root are canceling each other out. They're inverse operations. So then since I'm getting that x is going to be equal to 5, I know that 5 is going to be my hypotenuse there. This will become a little bit different on problems where you're given the hypotenuse, say like you're given the hypotenuse to be 10, and then and then your unknown side is a leg, and say your other leg could be 6. So it looks like this, and again, I know here because these two are my legs, the 6 and then the x, it'll just be a little bit different. But when I set it up, it's still going to be using the same Pythagorean theorem. So leg squared plus leg squared equals hypotenuse squared. So I knew here I had one leg was 6 and the other one was x. So I have 6 squared plus x squared, and then my hypotenuse was the 10. So equals 10 squared. So I'm going to go through and solve the equation still. But now when I'm doing it, it'll just be a little bit of a different process just because the x is on the opposite side from where it had been before. But again, I'm going to do the exponent first, so I know that 6 squared is 36. I'm just going to keep the x squared there for now, and then I know 10 squared is 100. So I have 36 plus x squared equals 100. So before I can do anything with the x squared, I want to isolate it because right now I have 36 plus x squared. So before I mess with that yet, I want to get just x squared alone on one side. So I have positive 36 right now. I need to take it away. So I'm going to be subtracting 36 on both sides of the equation. So that should leave me with x squared being equal to 64. And keeping in mind, again, I was able to get rid of the 36 because I had positive 36 and I subtracted 36, so that became 0. Brought down my x squared, and then 100 minus 36 is 64. So again, from here, then it's asking me, like, what number squared or what number times itself is 64. If you knew right away that it's 8, that's great, but otherwise you can take the square root of both sides of the equation. Square root of x squared, that's just x. The square and the square root cancel each other out. And then the square root of 64 is 8. So then that means that my unknown leg length is going to be 8. I hope this was helpful. Thanks for watching.